Today I'm going to talk about eggs and what you need to know before you eat them. First, there are lots of misconceptions about eggs, and I want you to know that eggs are a healthy food. They are a great source of protein, and if they're high quality eggs, they also provide bioactives called carotenoids that are beneficial for your vision. And eggs, which used to be thought of being harmful to your heart, actually have proven benefits for heart health. It's true that eggs are high in cholesterol, but study after study after study have shown that the people who are eating eggs don't actually have high levels of harmful cholesterol. All right. In fact, what they have better levels of good, healthy cholesterol. All right. So one clinical study from the University of Connecticut looked at 38 young, healthy men and women. These are people aged 18 to 30 years old, and they gave them either 1 or 2 or 3 eggs to eat per day for 4 weeks. And what they found is that egg eaters actually had better good HDL cholesterol, up about 13%. All right. And this created a healthier lipid profile. The other thing that this study showed was that eggs help to increase blood levels of the carotenoids called lutein and zeaxanthin. Remember I told you carotenoids are, these natural bioactives that are found in eggs. What do? They help maintain healthy vision. They improve the function of your retina, the carpet layer of nerves that's in the back of your eye. When light goes into your eye, it passes through the front, the cornea, through the lens, and it gets focused on the back of your eye, the retina, and lutein and zeaxanthin help retinal health. In fact, a study found that egg eaters had 20 to 30% increase in lutein and zeaxanthin. Again, these are bioactives that decrease the risk of vision loss from diseases like age-related macular degeneration. That's the most common cause of blindness over the age of 65. Lutein and zeaxanthin also reduce the risk of developing cataracts, which is another problem as people get older. This is an opacification or a cloudiness that can occur in the lens, the natural lens of the eye. All right, and that obscures vision. Eggs are also a good source of vitamin A, which is necessary for maintaining good vision. If you want to talk about quality of life, let's talk about how important the sense of sight is, right? You want your retina to be good, you want your lens to be good, you want overall your eyes and your vision to be healthy. So eggs are not only heart healthy, they're vision healthy as well. Now here's another benefit. Eggs are brain healthy. And the reason is eggs are a dietary source of something called choline. This is another bioactive. Choline is required for nerve development. It's also involved with brain health. You also need choline for muscle health and liver health and nerve health as well. A single egg contains 100 milligrams of choline. Now, what's the daily recommended intake of choline? It's between 400 and 500 milligrams a day. So one egg with 100 milligrams gets you 20% of the way. All right, that's a good way to actually get that stuff that's necessary for nerve health, including brain health. Some eggs also have healthy omega-3 fatty acids, and you probably know how important omega-3s are, right? We talk about seafood and having marine omega-3 fatty acids that come from plankton. Well, eggs can have them as well. And here's how that works. Well, if the hen that lays the healthy eggs are raised cage-free, they're free range, and they're actually eating natural foods, meaning they're pasture fed. The natural seeds that the hen eats actually converts the substances in the seeds into omega-3 fatty acids that winds up building up in their eggs. All right, so you are what your hen ate when it comes to eggs. Healthier raised hens also just have better overall health, which means their eggs are going to be healthy as well, right? Think about prenatal care for humans. You got prenatal care for hens as well, if you want healthy eggs. Now, omega-3s, as you know, are very important for health because they're anti-inflammatory. Omega-3s also promote gut health, feed your gut microbiome. And omega-3s also improve your immune system, immune health as well. Omega-3s also can reduce blood triglycerides. And this is actually important because there's not too many medications that can actually reduce triglycerides. Omega-3s, including from eggs, can actually lower this kind of harmful lipid that's responsible for cardiovascular disease. So another reason that eating eggs might contribute to heart health. So where was this idea that eggs are not healthy coming from? how did that actually even happen? Well, I like to bust myths, and some of the myth busting comes from actually understanding the historical context. All right. So let's go back, way back in a time machine to the 1970s. And it turned out that some of the studies that led to the thinking that egg eating was harmful to the heart had to do with the fact that we didn't know much about cholesterol. We didn't know about LDL and HDL. We just all thought cholesterol was cholesterol. We didn't know that there was good cholesterol. So that wasn't even being measured in the studies. All right. And what I told you was that eating eggs actually raises good cholesterol without raising the bad cholesterol. The other thing that tied the early studies from the 1970s to increased heart disease is the researchers were studying people that were eating eggs for breakfast. But guess what? These people eating eggs for breakfast are also eating bacon and sausage and butters and cereals with added sugars and also ultra-processed foods. And we know all of those other things actually can increase your risk for heart disease, and eggs got thrown under the bus. All right, so they were focusing on the eggs, but they didn't realize all this other stuff that the people were eating was contributing to heart disease, and they blamed it on the egg. All right, so that's really a case of mistaken identity, and it just shows you how important it is to actually be focused on the right thing and to have enough knowledge when you're conducting a research study so you don't make a misinterpretation of the information. All right, so I've just told you, eating eggs is not just okay, it's good for your heart, good for your brain, good for your eyes, good for your liver. So how do you get the most out of eating eggs? I'm going to give you 3 pro tips, all right? First tip, buy organic eggs from hens that are pasture raised, all right? They're going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're also going to be more beneficial. They got more beneficial omega-3s, they got more carotenoids, and other types of bioactives like choline. Go for the good stuff, right? Now, how will you know if an egg is actually particularly healthy? Well, here's something that you might not know. When I grew up, I ate eggs that when you cracked them open into a bowl, the yolks were bright yellow like the sun. But it turns out that the healthy pasture-raised and pasture-fed hens, when you crack their eggs, the yolk is orange red. It's like the blood moon as opposed to the bright yellow sun. And that blood moon, that red-orange pigment, that comes from carotenoids. So you know that those eggs are going to be healthier for you with your bioactives. Tip number 2, if you can get farm-raised eggs, okay, from a farmer, or you can get eggs from a friend who raises chickens and treats them humanely, they're going to be the freshest. You don't have to transport them very far, and they're going to be the best because you know who actually raised them, all right? And by the way, farm-raised eggs, eggs coming from a neighbor, they might not even need to be in the refrigerator. Does that surprise you? It surprised me when I first learned that. And here's the thing, I grew up, with eggs always in the refrigerator. In fact, when I go to the grocery store, I would go to the refrigerated section to buy eggs, right? Who doesn't think about that? Well, when I started doing my research on food as medicine in Europe, I would go to the fresh markets, the village markets, and one of the things that really surprised me is that all these eggs are piled up and sold just at room temperature. In fact, sometimes the markets were in hot weather and they were not refrigerated. And I was scratching my head saying, how can that be? Isn't that dangerous? Well, so here's something really amazing that I want to share with you. When you actually have hens that are naturally raised and eggs that are taken to the market, right, shortly after they're laid, outside of a factory, by the way, what happens is that the egg gets a natural coating as the hen squeezes out the egg. It coats the egg, the entire outside of an egg, with a natural bacterial resistant coating. All right. Now think about it. In a naturally raised chicken is going to be laying eggs into a nest. Nest is not refrigerated, and there's bacteria in there. And that's why this coating, this antibacterial coating, natural antibacterial coating, is provided by the mom, by the hen. All right. Now, when you actually bring those eggs right to the market and then buy them and bring them to your home, guess what? You can keep them on the counter for even a couple of weeks and they're going to be fine. You don't need to put them in the refrigerator. Hey, I want to tell you about something real quick. If you're enjoying this video, then you'll want to check out my free guide on delicious summer recipes. With the amazing variety of seasonal produce that's becoming available, summer is one of my all-time favorite seasons when it comes to healthy eating. And for me, cooking during the summer brings me a whole lot of joy and health at the same time. So I'm sharing with you 3 of my favorite summer recipes straight from my own kitchen for you to try. Get the recipes right now for free in the caption below. Now, back to the video. So, why do we actually put eggs in a refrigerator? This is also important to know because the factory eggs, the ones that come from these huge mills with thousands of hens that are kept in tiny little cages that are not very clean, right? If you've got 1,000 hens pooping, stacked on top of each other, it's going to be pretty dirty in there. When they lay their eggs and the eggs aren't picked off right away, they're laying there. Okay, there's a lot of bacteria. The hens are sick. There's dirty poop everywhere. In order for these factories to be able to sell their eggs, they collect the eggs. They got to wash them because there's all kinds of junk on them that you wouldn't normally get on a farm that isn't stacking their hens together, or a neighbor whose chickens are just running around. They only have a few hens. All right. So what happens in a factory is that they now have to wash all the gunk off the ends off the outside shell of the eggs in a factory. And guess what gets washed off along with the debris? That's right. It's also washing off that natural antibacterial layer that the mom put around the egg. Now you get eggs that are transported to the market without that bacteriostatic layer, without that bacterial protecting antibacterial layer. Now you better put it in the fridge because it doesn't have its natural bacterial resistant coating. Bacteria might be able to penetrate the egg. So in order to slow bacterial growth, now you have to put those in the fridge. All right. So I hope I've actually clarified that for you because it was a big aha to me. Makes sense why, if you're taking factory eggs, you need to put them in the fridge. But naturally raised, low volume eggs from a farmer, from a neighbor, those don't need to go into the fridge. All right. Very, very interesting to me. Third little pro tip, when you're cooking your eggs, cook them in a healthy way, right? So I know if you're going to cook eggs, like scrambled eggs with some butter, it tastes really great. A healthier choice is to use extra virgin olive oil if you're scrambling your eggs. All right, now you get the polyphenols and the nice flavors from the extra virgin olive oil into scrambled eggs. The eggs will taste better and they'll even be healthier because the polyphenols will be in there as well. And by the way, if you're going to do scrambled eggs that way, or you're going to create an omelet, chop up some nice herbs, chop up some mushrooms. You can actually make a healthy egg even healthier by what you cook with it and serve with it. Hope you got something out of watching this video. Thanks for watching. Dr. Lee out. Hi there. If you enjoyed watching this video, I know you'll love the next one. Stay here and check it out. And I'll see you there.